pressed against her back. Her eyes were wide and a bit glazed over as she blessed him with a smile. She was buzzed, but still very much aware of what was going on around her. "Why?" She blinked slowly, pupils dilating as the sound of his voice washed over her, and heat crept up in her cheeks. He studied her, fascinated by the sight of someone being so affected by so little of him. If she was this responsive to his voice, he couldn't help but wonder how she would be underneath him, or with his face buried between her thighs. "You look like trouble, and that's exactly what I need to get into." Her words interrupted his train of thought, startling him with their honesty. She called him trouble. It wasn't the first time someone had said that about him. Hell, it wasn't even the first time a girl had sat on his lap and admitted to being drawn to his darkness. That ugly, twisted part of him, crafted by years of abuse and neglect at the hands of a narcissist. But it was the first time he'd ever felt like the person asking to dance with his shadows had some of their own. His eyes roved over her face, and she held still, serenity lining her delicate features as he confirmed the presence of his twin flame dancing behind the golden flecks in her hazel eyes. And he was caught between the burning need to hold her to him and never let go, and the raging desire to find the person who shaped her darkness and destroy them with his bare hands. In the end, he knew his choice was simple. He curled his arm around her waist, pulling her deeper into himself. She smiled and tossed back the rest of her drink. "Well, are you?" "Am I what?" "Trouble." "That depends, Angel." Shit. He hadn't meant to let the nickname slip. He didn't even know her real name, so it was strange to already be giving her one. There was something overly familiar and possessive in his tone that should have scared them both, but he could only think about how right the word felt on his tongue and how pleased she looked when he said it. She bit her lip. "On?" "What kind of trouble you're looking for?" In an instant, the dark flame in her eyes started to burn brighter, calling to the fire that was always ablaze inside of him, and daring him to come and burn the world down with her. His breath caught, and he knew at that moment it didn't matter what kind of trouble she was looking for because he'd be it. He'd be whatever she needed him to be. 2. Sloane. Now. Dramatic exits have never been my thing. My mother, who's quite literally the queen of storming off, has told me repeatedly that jumping up to leave a room when things aren't going your way is the most undignified thing a woman can do. Temper tantrums aren't attractive, Sloane Elise. Unless, of course, she's the person throwing one. But in that case, it's always justified since Lauren Carson can do no wrong. Typically, I don't make a habit of heeding my mother's advice. In fact, a large part of my life, starting with my first party as a college freshman, has been dedicated to throwing every word she's ever said to me about how to conduct myself in public out the window. I've gotten quite good at overriding her voice in my head, but today I suck at it. And it's all his fault. Dominic Alexander. I turn my head to openly glare at him, not caring for 1 second that James Robinson, my best client, is sitting across the desk from us, looking confused about my clear hostility towards the man he's trying to introduce me to. "Please, Sloane," his eyes plead with me from across the desk. "Don't screw this up for us. He's saving our asses." "Your ass, James." I narrow my eyes at him. "He's saving your ass." Because this is all